could not explain. You have my life within you. Created everything I need. Only you. Every night, you're afraid. I do not own the copyrights to this music. I just say took a bath, y'all, so please work with me. Listen, I got on my music and it is I want to say this. Y'all will be now that hold on, let me rewind my life. Thank you all for subscribing. I might have to take this thing off, which I am. Thank you all for subscribing to my channel. I reached 1,000. So now let me tell y'all what's finna go down. Y'all finna ride with me. Now I'm gonna do my lives, a lot of my lives in the car. So I'm gonna just pop up on the screen and I'm gonna live it. That's just how it is. But thank you all for the one. And I already thank my friend that helped me out through this whole process. I know I was a bit nerve wracking at times, but when I learn, I want to learn like really deep. But I really want to tell you all, thank you all. I did reach 1,008. I'm so excited because now I don't have to come home, rush and come home, take a bath, look cute again. Y'all can have me outside the box riding. So we're gonna be doing a lot of riding. You're gonna catch a lot of my lives as I'm out in the outside of the box. Outside of the box. So this might not be going on too many more times with me doing lives on the computer. It depends on where I'm at, what I feel like. But I know majority of my lives is gonna be outside of the box. Okay, let's get it. Now, the topic for tonight, well, happy Mother's Day to all the mommies that, celebrate this holiday. I don't celebrate it, never did, because I didn't want to put that kind of strain on my kids like that. So, I always, now my last child, is the one that's in prison, he just made it his effort to, I got you this, mom, for Mother's Day. And, he was just a real clingy child, but I understood it. So it was kind of heartbreaking that me and him split up in the way we split up. We split up without even, well, he knew, but I didn't know. And it was a very painful process. So, and then my daughter passed away. And then I got my older son. That's the only one that's here and near to me. And he gave me this beautiful message today. And it was just so touching. I want to read it though. He's such a sweetheart. And he's saying, Happy Mother's Day, beautiful soul. Without you, it wouldn't be no G. I call him G. I love you and I'm a call away for anything. He said he was going to take me out, but he on daddy duty, so he had the babies, his babies. But I told him that didn't matter. That was good enough, just to have him, just to have one, by my side, and I don't never call him for anything. And he always said, "Mom, you don't need nothing." No, I am very I got to get out of that, but I don't need my son. That's just a no, no. I don't need my son for nothing. I want him to be a man and take care of his kids, and that's what he's working on. And we all have to work on, as I always tell everybody, we all start off immature until we come mature, and that is just how they go. You just don't start off being mature. It don't work that way. That's not how life falls. You have to be immature. Your lessons, or your what you learn as spiritual, your spiritual lessons is what you learn. I guess I'm saying that right. You learn from your lessons. There you go. Grr, grr. You learn from your lessons. So we don't just automatically be mature. We just it don't work that way because I used to be a wild one. I used to be very wild. I didn't care what I said. I didn't have no filter to my mouth. I didn't care how I act. I was just a very spontaneous, exciting, wild, born to be wild type of female. So I didn't know what it felt like being bored. I still can't do the boring game. I don't like to be bored. That's just not gonna work for me. I like some excitement. I like a little spark. I like a little, sour but sweet type of moment. And what I mean by sour, just something be like, oh, you just did that. Very excited. I'm a very exciting female. So if you're not an exciting person, I don't know what to tell you. I couldn't be around. I can't do I'm not a homebody, as they say. People sit in their homes. I'm not a homebody. I cannot sit in my house all day long and just lay around. That is not finna happen. Not on my watch. I have to get out and about. If I just got to walk down the sidewalk, walk in the parking lot, sit outside, whatever, that's just how I am. But I want to talk about spiritual background check. What was it? Proceeding. I think it is proceeding. I guess, yeah, proceeding it. Proceeding. Just going through. You're checking it out. I think I said it right, but we're gonna go on with it because I can't remember what I typed. I'm gonna tell y'all right now. I be typing stuff because if it hit my mind, I type it because that's a download. Processing. I'm sorry, processing. Well, anyways, I write, and what I write, I can't remember half of the stuff I say. I do freestyle a lot of things because if it's given to me in a download, I write it on a, I write, and I brought index cards, y'all, and this is so crazy right here. My index cards is then I might as well just keep a notebook. You feel what I'm saying? And don't be looking at my hair. Don't come for my hair because my barber, he's in Cancun. He's on a trip and he's having a good old vacation. So right now, I'm just trying to make it work, whatever, make it do, make it do. I'm gonna make it do what it do now, and I'm gonna make it cute. I don't care what it look like. It's gonna be cute. Something gonna be on his head. I ain't going undone. I don't. Only time I wear a bonnet is when I'm in my home, but I would not wear a bonnet out in public. I wear a shower cap when it's raining because I hate umbrellas. I do not like carrying an umbrella. And then how about a real hard wind come? The umbrella gonna go up, bang, it's off. You feel me? But I want to talk about something tonight. Processing, spiritual background check. We never knew this. I never knew nothing about no spirit, no generational curse breakers, chosen ones. I heard of God, I heard of Jesus. Don't get it twisted. Holy Spirit, you hear all them worldly church people. Don't let me lay my Holy Ghost down. I'd be like, how can you lay that down? I mean, like, you can ready go hood because that's what I need. I used to be really wild, y'all. I promise you. I was one female. I really sometimes sit in my house or riding in my car, just taking a long ride, and I pick a delivery that makes a long ride, and I have to ask God, why did you choose me? Out of all the people in this whole wide world, why am I one of the ones you chose? Because, baby, toxic. Okay. Toxic was not a word for me. Put some more words to that. And, I want to talk about coming out of a dysfunctional family. You got covert, overt, malignant, psychopaths, sex offenders, all kinds of abusers in these dysfunctional families. And I had to break it down today. I took some time to do this, and I took it from my standpoint of what I came from, and I worked it on down to my relationships, being a mother, had to grow into motherhood. I just wasn't a mother off the gate because I was a young mother. I got pregnant at the age of 17 and I had my oldest son at 18. Then 2 months later, I got pregnant again with my daughter. So they were like 11 months apart. So if she was living right now, they would be 31 together until my son hit 32, May the 23rd of this month. So, I had a lot to learn. And, that's why I don't point the fingers at my exes. Well, I only got two exes. My kid's father, he gone. So I don't have a kid's father, as y'all say, baby daddy. I don't have one of those. I am like completely, I was thinking about it. I'm sorry to go off a topic. But I was thinking about it today. Man, I'm solo. I'm like solo, like not nothing else is attached to me but me. And it took a lot of work, y'all. Like, and I'm cool with it. Believe it or not, I'm cool with it. And I was telling my friend last night, it's just me. And it's just me. Like, I am just excited. Now, I'm not excited that my daughter is gone, but I'd rather for her to be resting than being on earth letting Satan use her. And that's another thing I want to talk about too, because when you in these generational dysfunctional families, sorry, I bit my lip. When we in these dysfunctional families, we don't understand, and I'm know now. I didn't know before, but when we're in these dysfunctional families, do you know these unclean spirits are attached to us? Our fathers, our mothers, when they had us, they were in sin. So by them being in sin, what that's gonna make us? We're gonna be born into sin, shaped into iniquity, like Psalm 51 say. And the word of God is so real, like it cut me to my heart a lot of times. It corrected me a lot because I didn't just overread what I need to read. I read what all I had to read it all. I had to study it because if you don't study it, these people that know that you don't know the word of God, they have a tendency of using it against you. So if you don't know, they can use that. That's just like a gaslighting and a projecting and a manipulation. But being as though our mothers and our daddies was in sin when they, God gave them the gift. He gave the father the gift to give to the mother. The mother go ahead and you know go through the trimesters and then travail and then bring forth the child however you have it. If you had a natural birth, I had all three of my kids was natural. I didn't have no c-section or none of that, so they all came out natural. No, I had stitches with my oldest, but the other two, they was like they had to stitch me up. I was like, what? Okay, but all right, that's how it was. But they're coming out of the womb, and if we mothers are not righteous, even if you're not right, even if you're righteous, your children can still turn out wrong. Don't get it twisted. They can still turn out to be sinful because we all got to go through sin. Every one of us. It ain't no you or any, meeny, miny, mo, skip her, skip him, skip him, skip her. No, we all got to go through that. We all got to go through an immature stage. And we can't override that. We can't overlook it, and we sure can't dodge it. We're gonna have to go through it. But many don't have the strength within to build without. Many don't have the strength within to battle against what is going on without. So when it comes to women, as I was reading tonight, we are the weaker vessel. I just didn't get the chance. I don't have the chance yet to be a weak vessel. I don't have that chance to, give over my heart, even though I do want to give it over. And I was thinking about this today as well. Be as though I never gave my heart to anybody 100% because I didn't feel like it was cool too, because all my life I was a survivor. I thrived at a young age. So, like, giving somebody my heart, it's hard. Like, it is a person I got feelings for, but it's hard. Some days I'd be like, let me get that back. No, I don't want to give it away. When you're not used to being vulnerable, and that's something I am not used to, is being vulnerable, like just being the loving female, and I don't know how. And I works on it every day. Like, I want to be a weaker vessel to that man, but it's hard sometimes when you just ain't used to it. I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna be the weak vessel. I'm gonna trust you with my heart. You know, some days I'd be all for it, and some days I'd be like, is it gonna be? Is it okay? You know, it's a process, especially when you're not a person that ever had to be in a vulnerable stage. Now with my kids, I let my guard all the way down. They were my kids. They gave me a run for my money too. Don't get it twisted. But just to give it over to a man and just be okay with it, or just be this little weak vessel, that's hard for people that had to strive and thrive their whole life and getting hurt as children. And I see a lot of people that, you know, they'd be like, y'all narcs is disgusted. We all were toxic. We all have toxic traits. We all done live by the skin here. We all done did some stuff. And that's something I want to talk about, because in dysfunctional families, you know, you get gaslighted, you get verbally abused, you get physical abuse, you get spiritually scorned, you get sexually abused, you get malignant norm. You know, that stuff is real high in the families as well. When you got a parent or a mother that just yell and scream, tell you you're worthless, tell you you ain't gonna never be nothing, tell you you're stupid, tell you you're dumb, you're ignorant, nobody gonna like you. You hear this stuff from your family. These are things that your family tell you. You got bullies in the family. I wrote notes, y'all, for real. And with the verbal abuse, it's just like shaming you. It shames you. And when you get out in the open world, I always say this, you go out wide open starving, because you already been rejected, abandoned, verbally abused, physical abuse. Because you got some parents that'll beat you down. You got some daddies. I hear a lot of young women, and I went back when I had this homegirl in school in the sixth grade, Thelma. And I was thinking about her today when she had a father in the home. And I used to actually just run away with her, because she would be out in the streets where her father would beat her up. He broke her wrist and all kinds of stuff. And I was like, your dad didn't know you like this? And she was like, yeah. And it was many a days, you know, we was in the six going to the seven. I would sneak her in so she could live with me and my grandfather and us, because I was like, she can't be outside. Her dad beating on her. And he was really cruel to her. But I never had a daddy that hit me, and I never had a dad around. So, you know, I didn't understand the daddy hitting and the daddy beating and all that. I don't understand that, but I do understand them uncles. You bring that name up, that'll trigger me real quick. That'll put me back in the military mode. You know, I'm ready to be a foot soldier now, and I'm ready to take somebody out. And I had to get delivered from that, because I wore that with me. And what I mean by wore it was inside of my heart, hidden. You get what I'm saying? Never talked about it, never said anything about it. Try to suppress it, because, you know, as you grow, things start to fade. And when you see people for who they are, they'll start to fade. And, you know, when we hit the open world, either you're going to be bullied or you're going to be a bully. It's just simple and plain. And when I hear a lot of women say, well, that narc did this to me, that narc ain't no good. I did 10 years with one, I did 15 years with one. You know why? Because you did 18 years in a home that was so abusive. You did 20 years in a home that was so abusive. You did 30 years in a home that was so abusive. So, yeah, when you get into these relationships, we don't just marry right off the gate. A narc is just not going to marry you right off the rip. That's just not how that thing goes. Are not only married because they need to keep you for a reason, or you get married for a reason. And a lot of people be like, oh, that is wrong. That is wild. No, it's not wrong and wild. It's just that your discernment is not sharp. You don't even know nothing about discernment. You're just doing what's comfortable to you. So if you can get married and you know dude don't want you, or homegirl don't want you, but you still want to marry. Some people think marriage gonna lock them down. Marriage don't lock nothing down. Some people think having a baby will lock them down. Having a baby ain't gonna lock them down. It's gonna lock you down. And 9 times out of 10, if mama wild, mama ain't even locked down. Kids going astray. Here I is. And you have to learn as you go. And people don't realize when you get in these relationships, you can't force it. You can't force that man or that woman to be with you open arms because they don't know how. I didn't know how. I just love what we did. We went out, we went to trips, we went out to eat. Now with my kid's father, we didn't do that. That was the most boringest marriage. I had to bring some spark to it, and the way I brought the spark to it, it wasn't fun. But my second relationship, that was a bust. And my third relationship, it was just more of a friendship than a partnership. I couldn't partner with him because it wasn't, mommy. And a lot of mamas ruin their sons on a real note. Hate to say it, Happy Mother's Day. But a lot of mothers ruin their sons where they manipulate their sons to be there for them, and then now the mama and the daughter warn, and the daughter bowing to the mother and the son. Now you done gave two doses of your power away. So when you get in the world again, guess what? That had to been done in your home, your mother or your sibling or your father and your sibling. This stuff come from the home, from the very parts of the home. So yeah, you can't, when we get, and I don't like to point fingers at people. Yeah, you can tell stories like a lot of self-awareness. They say, I don't know where this self-aware stuff come from, but when you are a recovering sinner, you can talk about the things you went through. I was a recovering sinner. I'm still a recovering sinner. I didn't know it was called funk, but I get into my funks. I'll block, I'll unfriend, I'll friend, I'll unblock because it's just paranoia. It's just, what is it, PTSD triggers. Small things trigger me, but I have to learn that, everybody is not like me. Everybody don't think like me. And I think my thinking is unpredictable. But let me get into it. I'm doing too much talking about me. Um, I wrote notes, so we're going by my cards. So when you get verbally abused in homes, I call it all, and I seen a guy that talk about it, and I was like, it all makes sense. Malignant norm abuse. That means it's severe in that home. It's like a tornado. It's a cyclone in that house. You know how many kids that dreads when they go to school, they be so happy when they go to school, but when it's time to get home, their whole spirit drop. When you in a home that all you hear is yelling and shouting and screaming, then guess what? How do you deal with that as a child? You're innocent, you're fearful, you're scared you're going to punishment if you say something, you're scared you might the parent or whoever caretaker taking care of you, they may get violent with you, they may tear you down, and guilt brings what? Fear. Innocent guilt. And why I say innocent guilt, you don't have no reason to be guilty because your parents is dysfunctional. That is that, but when they instill that in you, and when they still that you are guilty of their actions, or you're guilty for making them rage at you, or you're guilty for them abusing you, no, they're giving you an innocent guilt. That's innocence. You're an innocent child, and you being taught to be guilty over lies. That's gaslighting. When you say, well, daddy abused me, I never known daddy abused you. I never knew that. I never heard of that, and daddy never abused you. Now you're lying. Now you're feeling like you a liar, but you're actually honest. But being as though you're innocent, you gonna go with what evil mama said or evil daddy said, or grandparents, because a lot of grandparents raise their children. You get what I'm saying? And then when grandparents raise their children, they don't really want to raise you, so they're gonna be ill to you too. Call you all kinds of names. It's a system. It's a family system, a system of abuse. So when you get out here in the world and that man or woman can come in your life and gaslight you and trick you and manipulate you and project on you, that's because that's what you always know. It's not that this man is ashamed, because that ain't the only man that ever came in your life. And I tell a lot of women this, and men, that ain't the only man you ever slept with. That ain't the only woman you ever slept with. So why is you pointing the finger at this one particular man or this one particular woman? It's a reason why, but you can't say, well, this man did this to me. I've been with him such and such, and then you done slept with three or four men in the background. See, we got to be honest with each other to heal. You got to be honest with yourself to heal. You can't heal if you ain't gonna be all the way honest. That's why I give my testimonies of what I went through. But my ex, he didn't hurt me. It ain't no man ever hurt me. My kids hurt me. My loved ones hurt me. Those were the hardest hurts I ever endured. But when it came to a man, nah, a man hurt me. No, we ain't having that. That's not something that I can let hurt me. We either gonna be or we're not gonna be, or we're gonna be unstable, we're gonna be off and on. And before I knew about the spiritual side, I was off and on. I was nonchalant. I didn't care. You can tell me you going to cheat. Bye. See you. Go do what you do, because I'm going to go out the other door and I'm going to go do what I do. And when we get back, we just do what we do. We're going to either sleep in the same room, or you're going to be on the couch, or I'm going to be in the bedroom. But I'm not going on a couch unless I'm tired or I came in that next morning like you did. You get what I'm saying? So I wasn't a woman of saying, well, he hurt me. Oh, I done did some stuff and he know it, and I was honest. Even when I was ready to cheat, I would tell my ex, listen, you're gonna hear it from me. You ain't gonna hear it from the streets and nobody else saying they saw me. I'm gonna cheat on him. And his family used to be in the house. Oh, she didn't even tell you she gonna cheat on you. You weak. No, he ain't weak. He told me he cheating on me. So how he weak? If he's weak, I'm weak. So that makes both of us weak. That's just how I roll. Now, if I'm feeling you, I really, I'm trying to think. My kid's father, I was closer to him because he was my first relationship. My kid's father, my first marriage. I didn't want to get married. That marriage was just weird. When he married me, I didn't even know I was getting married. It was just on church on Easter, and the church had all these people there, and they called me up to the front, and boom, boom, there go you get married. What? I'm getting married? Okay, caught me off guard, but I didn't want to shame him in front of the congregation, because I was like, I'm getting married. Oh my goodness, because I was getting ready to leave. I was over it because he had a kid on me. I didn't want this relationship no more because it was painful. And the kid, the little girl came up looking just like him. I'm like, I got to leave this relationship. But you thought that marrying me would keep me. It didn't keep me. I was already scorned. But that's just how it happens. And then you get into a system. Let me get off of that. A system. I'm trying to keep up with these cards, y'all. So if I go to the right, I'm gonna pull it back in. I have, if you know any chosen one, we jump off topic. We jump all over the place. I am unstable in my conversations. I'm gonna let y'all know that right now. But malignant verbal abuse from your dysfunctional family, the system of abuse, the first start of abuse. And they'll tell you you're worthless, you're stupid, you're ugly, you're fat, you're too skinny, you got too much bumps on your face, you this, you're that, da 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 da. Name calling, bullying, siblings bully you. I mean, uncles bully you, aunts bully you. Everybody bullying you if you're weak, if you're afraid, if you got some children that is scared. I mean, scared straight. They very fearful. So if you're very fearful and that sensitive, when you hit this open world, man, Satan can do circles around you through a soul. And it's not the one that came in and did it to you. And I tell people this all the time. When they show you who they is the first time, shame on them. But 2, 3, 4, 5, and 10, 11, 12, and 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Who fault is it? Who fault is it is? Who fault is it now? It ain't that person, because you can stop it. I refuse to let a man come and, just misuse me. That's why I like how I am. I ain't laying down with nobody, because you lay down, then you're gonna catch a lust feeling, and that lust feeling is very hard to get off you. It's hard to shake. Now, talking to people and interacting with people, that's cool. But when you inviting them into your homes to lay down with you and get into this house, you got a problem. Because now you opening your door to a demon. And you a demon open the door. A demon open the door and letting the other demon in. How you doing? I said that both a demon. If when I was in the world, a demon on me or demons, my demons knew what demon to pick in that man. Real talk. I knew what to pick. And I never, my kid's father was a little more, um, how can I say it with him? He was a little more aggressive than I was, but then I learned to be on his level of aggression. But the other two men that I was in relationships with, they wasn't as aggressive as I was. So I was more aggressive than the other two guys that I was with. So, it was like, okay, they too weak for me. Like they don't know how to hold it down. I have to hold it down because those were mommy boys. And those mommy boys are hard. They're very hard to deal with because mama can talk them to leave you. Mama can talk them into coming back to you. Mama can talk them to just do you any kind of way. Mama can rule that whole house when you're dealing with a mama's boy. And a mama's boy is only a son that is yearning for mama love because mama done ghost them. Mama done gave them the silent treatment. Mama done verbally misused them and abused them and gaslight them and projected and all that manipulating abuse in that family system. So when you get a man that love his mama unconditionally but loving her in the wrong way, then you're going to have a whole problem because a lot of mothers ruin their sons. And that's some real stuff. Now, when they gaslight you, that mean believe my words, but don't rearrange them. Don't believe what you want to believe. You got to shut your eyes off and you got to shut your ears off. You believe what I tell you. So when I'm ready to gaslight you, when your parents gaslight you, they be like, you don't know what's going on with that. Who told you that? You don't understand. You got people that try to talk. You'll say something, then they'll answer it for you, or tell you you don't understand, or try to make you, or they use the sentence that they want you to use. Like just say, "I don't want to go to an event." Well, just tell me if you don't really want to go to an event. I understand. No, you don't understand, and don't try to put words in my mouth. See, that's what gaslighting is. They're putting the words in your mouth, and you have to use the words that they're shoved in your mouth, not what you actually think. And you're gonna have to turn that off. You have to turn realization off, and you're gonna have to go with the delusional mindset. See, that's what you've been going through in homes, and people don't like to talk about it because a lot of people are scared to go up against their parents, and I go up against them like, Mom, you don't have to do that. You can be in a respectful way. Mom, all my life you've been gaslighting me. Mom, all my life you've been manipulating me. Mom, all my life you've been projecting. You haven't been honest with me all my life. You are the cause of me failing in my marriages. And if you notice, if you come out of these dysfunctional homes, you don't really have a healthy marriage. You don't have a healthy workmanship. You don't even have a healthy, stable boundary because when you ain't go back into your dysfunctional family, even when you go to these like Mother's Day, this is a great one. This is a great example. Your mother ain't been a true mother, but you're gonna still suck up to that negativity. Well, this mom, she want us to cook macaroni this year again, but I don't feel like cooking macaroni. I don't want to cook macaroni, but you're doing it because you want to please mama. Because if you don't cook it, mama gonna get angry. That is not a boundary. Mama don't respect you either. Mama ain't trying to understand how you feel. Mama still trying to treat you like this child that she abused her life. Daddy doing the same thing, the whole family. Why you ain't show up? You hurt mama feelings. Nah, mama hurt my feelings. Why mama ain't show up when I was growing up? Why y'all doing this? Because you know why? The whole family is dysfunctional. Malignant abuse, covert abuse, overt abuse. Now that's when the CPDs, the MPDs, the BPs, and all these personality disorders coming from because the ones that really loved you scorn you. So then when you get into these relationships and not with just this one man, that one man ain't the only man you ever had. And you can say, well, I never cheat, honey. If you ain't baptized by the Holy Ghost, you gonna cheat, baby. You ain't gonna just sit there and go with it. I'm not gonna cheat, honey. Honey, honey. Tell it to somebody that do know. And I never come on. Satan use us when we're not there. We all been used. If you got 3 or 4 baby daddies, now this one particular baby daddy you just so into. No, no. No, because you know what you're gonna do? You're gonna go to the other baby daddy and use that same skill on that family. You're gonna go to that other baby daddy and use that same skill on that daddy. You get what I'm saying? It's a cycle that you have to master. And when Satan can full blown use you, you're gonna manipulate your way all around the scene because that's what happens. That's just how it go. When people want to get close to the family, these women know how to get close to the family. These women know what to do. They observe how mama like it. They observe how daddy like it. They observe how grandmama like it, and they use it. And grandmama, daddy, and all of them. I like that girl more than that girl. I think you should keep that girl, not that girl. Now they're making choices of who you should be with. This is how it go in these malignant, abusive, dysfunctional family systems. So then when you get on the outside of the box, you're going to pick a malignant man. You're going to pick a covert man. I will never forget, my sister, my oldest sister, used to tell me, if a man didn't hit you, he didn't love you. And I asked her where she get that crazy idea from. Because with my kid's father, he used to hit on me until I started fighting back because I was young. So I was like, why is this dude hitting on me? I mean, I don't want to hurt him, but he's doing a lot of hitting. So she was like, oh, he love you, girl. I was like, that ain't love. It ain't no way that man loved me hitting on me. And many people knew that man was abusing me. I couldn't run to nobody. I had to learn how to stand up and fight back this 285-pound man because this hitting wasn't feeling good. And I was like, no, this ain't right. So she was like, he's jealous of you. No, I don't want him to be, I don't want no jealous man. If a man got to be jealous that bad and hit me, I could have lost my life many a times. But thank God that he kept me here. So a lot of women think men beating on them is love. That's not love. That's abuse. Plain and simple, period, point blank. That's abuse. And if you in something like that, I recommend you to get out and don't go back because if they violent like that, believe me, if you go back, they will kill you. Because now Satan took over their whole shell, and it's Satan through them that's whipping you, not that man. That's why when people say, I hate the narc and this, no, 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 no. You better say you hate evil. You better say you hate evil because that person is under a stronghold. That person is in a portal, a dark portal. And a lot of people don't even understand the spiritual side of evil. I didn't know it. I just knew it was something ain't right. How can I get away from this? How can I get out of this? Because I don't want to be in this. And I left 15 years. I left. I couldn't go no further because me and him would have killed each other. Because I start fighting back and I start fighting back and I start cutting. And I'm like, oh no, you ain't gonna hit me no more, son. You got to get cut. And I got to bring blood from you because you doing too much. And I had to do that. And it wasn't right because it hurted me to hurt somebody I was supposed to love. But I had to look at this person ain't loving me. So I was young, and when they get you young like that, and that go for women that's young, and you get these older men or these older women get these younger men, they only molding them because they're innocent. They know they're broken. They know they can bring them in and do whatever they want to do to them. All they got to do is feed them money, feed them food, make them feel great, sex them to death, do some wild, crazy stuff. But will it keep them? Absolutely not. Because they're young, they abuse within, they abuse without, and they just trying to find the safest place to get to. Wherever security lies, I am in. That's your vote. I want the code to your vote. So that's why a lot of older women like younger men. That's why younger men like a lot of older women because it's a security game. It's just security. They know my daughter was running the streets. She had old men. She said because they'll look out for you. They give you a place to stay. They give you money, but they still had issues too. Because if you are 65 dealing with a 25-year-old woman, yeah, you're not a strong man. You need a younger woman to mold and shape and listen to you just for a little bit. Because once she get delivered and she catch on to that just a little bit, now that old man or that old woman, they done for. That's how it really go. Because you get gaslight by older people in your home, so you think going to an older person is cool. I mean, it really is. But my daughter wasn't abused though. She just when her father passed away, and she hung out with this certain crowd, and whoopsie, hey, I couldn't do nothing about it. But I'm trying to see if I read off of this. Manipulate norm. I done went past what I said. I done got all these cards. I'm trying to read off my own. Y'all, please excuse me. Okay, but now to get the outbring out of you, you got to go into healing. You got to detach from everything, y'all. When I detached in 2019, when God called me, I didn't understand the calling. I didn't understand. Everybody say you got a higher calling. What is you talking about? I didn't know me. A lot of people knew me before I knew me, and I had to renew and take all the upbringing out of me, all those dysfunctional traits that was attached to me, all of those narcissistic narcissistic traits out of me, y'all. Excuse me, because I make a lot of faces. I'll be on it, but I had to take all of those toxic traits out of me. And what I mean out of my shell. I had to stop living for the flesh. And that was the hardest thing in my whole entire life. Not having a boyfriend, not having a friend, not doing this, not doing that, not sexing before I get married, not just getting a man and we're gonna be boyfriend and girlfriend. We ain't committing, we ain't doing nothing. Because when you fornicate and you bring a man in your home and he hit that, pop that, boom, boom, bap that, and then guess what? He got that. Now he out the door. He gonna stay with you a little bit. You might be good enough that he gonna come back and pop that, pop that. He might commit to you a little bit as girlfriend and boyfriend, or the same thing go for women. You can't get mad with that because girlfriend and boyfriend is a contract, and marrying as an unbeliever is a contract. You got to heal to understand your marriage. I did this person wrong, I did that person wrong. If these people keep letting you back in, you ain't do nobody wrong. Now they doing themselves wrong. That's why you got to heal so you can earn respect back in yourself. Like me, I'm a single woman, but I'm loyal to myself before I can be loyal to a man. So I'm not going to go out there and give myself away because I know my worth now. I'm not going to do it just because I want a man. I'm going to be loyal because I want I got to be loyal to me. I had to be loyal to me. I had to gain my own respect. So if you're going to be loyal to yourself, then you can love somebody else easily. It won't be a tug of war of loving somebody. And now that I'm a grown woman, and I'm a secure woman, confidence is through the roof. Confidence is through the roof. I'm not gonna go out here and just throw myself around. No, you can leave that for them Jezebel spirits because guess what? I'm not in competition with those type of women. If I get married, I'm not gonna be talking to another man. If I'm married, I'm not gonna be out here cheating on my husband. If I get married, it's all about my husband. It's not gonna be now I'm married and I was doing all the right things before I got a man. Now I get a husband, I'm gonna start doing the wrong things. Nah. No, you got to know your worth. And that's what the problem is. Many didn't know their worth. I didn't know my worth at first. Because if I knew my worth, I would have never been in a 10-year relationship. He was still married and I wasn't married. No, I would have never did that. But at that moment, I was living by the flesh. And so I did fleshly things. But I never put my whole 100% into that relationship because I knew it was wrong off the chain. I mean, off the gate. So guess what? I just dealt with it because I just love the things that we did together. Not I loved it him. I love what we did together. I mean, we traveled, we talked a lot, we would chop it up, we would go to clubs a lot, did things like that of the flesh. But it was no growth. Even though we had things in the home, we had nice, beautiful stuff, it was no growth. Spiritually, it wasn't no emotional growth. It wasn't no compassion. It wasn't no understanding. It wasn't no true love. It wasn't none of that stuff that comes with a relationship or partnership or whatever ship you want to call it. You want to be loving emotionally. You want to have each other back spiritually. You want to be that strong backbone, that virtuous woman. You want to be there for that man because men don't think with both sides of the brain. Men are just wired one way. And if you don't understand it, and I didn't even have a dad in the home. So on the outside, I've been around a lot of men, but I know one thing: I can't be friends with men because men ain't gonna look at me like, okay, you just my homegirl. No, they're gonna start being attracted to me, which they are. You get what I'm saying? And a lot of them are, but I just can't be like, okay, you attracted to me, I'm gonna just deal with you. No, it don't work that way. You can't just say, okay, he say I'm beautiful, he loves me. No, he don't. Or he buy me gifts. He really want me. He really want to invest in me. No, he don't. He sex me real good. He love me for her. No, he don't. You thinking with your mouth up here, down here, and he thinking with his head down there. Y'all thinking with that down there. That's the wrong thing to think with. Thank God I wasn't that way. But if I did do it, it was what it was. It was just feeding off my little, you know. But you can't be being honest. But you can't just look at things as that way. Hi, Joseph. Hi. I hope you're having a good day, sunshine. Hello. Hearts, hearts. But yes, you can't be like, well, he got my vagina and he left me. Of course. You gave it up so easy. Thank you, sweetheart. I appreciate that. Give you some hearts back. You know how they do it? You know how they doing it? My heart pumping. But yes, you got the excuse I have a big sense of humor and a big personality. But yes, you thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Listen. Joseph, it took forever to get. It took me 5 years. That's why I like to talk to women instead of they putting that man down because we can't do that. That's just not where it come from. It just don't come from that. But yes, give you hearts back. Yes, it don't come from that. So you got to renew your mind. You have to detach from the upbringing because that's where it starts. And I had to detach. I had to learn. I had to get that under control. It was like I, I'm talking about me. I didn't, y'all don't ever hear me say this and that. Only time y'all hear me say something about my ex, like last night, he called me on another platform. I already told him no more talking because if I get a husband or if I meet a man that want to marry me and showing me that he's going to be that man for me, he not going to want to see my ex calling me and we chopping it up. That is disrespectful. That's just out of control right there. And I told my ex yesterday, well, last night when he called me, I said, listen, stop calling me. You change your number. I changed my number because I don't have no more dealings with you. When we were together, you didn't want to do the right thing. So what make you going to do the right thing now? You haven't even went and healed. So he was like, well, I was just checking on you. You're not checking on me. When you left me, you should have checked on me. You didn't do so. When you went and lay with that other woman, and I told you we're not doing this no more with each other. Either we're gonna clean it up together or we're gonna separate. So he didn't want to clean it up. He wanted to separate. So I gave him what he asked for. So why are you coming back now? We've been split up for 5 years. So if I get a husband or a man that's looking at me, because you don't know who's watching, he won't look at my phone here, sweetheart. Take my phone. Any man if I marry a man, he can look at both of my phones because there's nothing in there to hide. I'm not gonna hide nothing. I am a free woman where even though I'm a free spirit woman, it ain't no man gonna touch me the wrong way, ain't no man gonna talk to me the wrong way, ain't no man calling my phones, ain't no man coming to my house. Now I got a little neighbor that he's crazy about me, and I told him stop leaving me gifts. And I think he doing it because he say he loved the way I carry myself. And he leaves these kind of gifts in my door. He left me this and he leaves me little gift cards and stuff in the door and tells me happy Mother's Day or whatever. But I tell him I don't, even though I take him, he said he just do it because I went through a lot and I've been here since 2021 and he been watching me and way I move and he loved it. And I was like, but that's good. But taking gifts from people, it'll give them an idea like, yeah, we're gonna chop it up. But I told him, I said, no, I don't want your gifts if you think it's something gonna be between us because I don't want to mislead. I don't never want to mislead a man. If I'm feeling you, I tell a man I'm feeling you. I'm not ashamed to be like out. I'm feeling you. If I tell you that, you better take that for what it is, because I don't do that too much at all. I never do. But anyways, what time is okay? I got a little more. I got some stuff I wrote. And for the ones that lost your mothers, this is another thing I wanted to talk about too. For a lot of women, us, we don't get along with our moms. I'm one of them. It ain't that I don't get along with my mother. The evil side of my mother won't let me get close to my authentic mother. So it's hard to get through to her. Listen, I love you. I want to, make this right between us. I can't when she is holding on to evil and she ain't putting in no healing. She ain't trying to see a therapist. She ain't trying to pray. She ain't trying to take accountability. She just like, you're wrong. You're going to praise me. You're going to worship me. I can't do that. And I tell her I can't do that. I worship one God and one God only. That's Heavenly Father. That's pure and point blank. So when you got mothers that you can't interact with, or they won't interact with you authentically, don't feel bad, because it's not you. And you get into these relationships and you feel the same similarities of the home you came out of. It's not you. It's just you need to do healing. You need to break loose from everything. I had to break loose from my family. I had to break loose from my children. I had to break loose from, people that was attached to me. I had to break loose from a lot of people. It was painful, but now I feel 100%. I was telling my friend last night, I want to relocate. I am going to relocate. I don't care if I have to go homeless to relocate. I'm going to relocate because now that I'm grown out of my hometown. And if you know, when you're out of a dysfunctional family, they're not going to accept you. You're the black sheep. They don't see you as they see everybody else. You're not going to go along with the lies. You're not going to go along with the delusion. You're not going to live this fairy tale life. You're going to live a reality. So they're not going to deal with you like you want to be dealt with. So if you got a mother that's passed away and she passed away when y'all didn't make amends, it's not your fault. Stop sitting on your healing. And I had got a Psalms 34. The Heavenly Father is close to the brokenhearted and the crushed spirits. All you got to do is give it to Him. Give it to Him. And I done been through it all. Dysfunctional family, we ain't never get it right. I was always the one making the family stay together. I was the only one running across the highways to see the family. They ain't never run half the time down there to me. I was the one calling them. They wouldn't have time calling me. And if they were calling me, trying to see what was going on in my relationship. See, you got to get your eyes wide open before you start blaming other people for your family downfall. And that's one big thing that got to be dealt with. You got to stop blaming people that you get in relationships with, or workmanships. You playing victim the whole time. No, there is no such thing as a victim the whole time. You are villain in some type of situation. That's why you got to examine yourself before you start pointing fingers. Or like when people say, well, they hurt me, then I'm not a shadow swimmer. I got to go deep. I need a deep dive, and I need a snorkel on my nose to go on down in the deep, because it didn't just start with that relationship, or that man came in my life and he just was awful to me. He cheated on me. He was this, he was that, and that, and that. Your mama done cheated on you. Your daddy done cheated on you. Your daddy gave you the silent treatment. Your mama gave you the silent treatment. And it's not saying that it's wrong what they did. It's definitely wrong. But they was taught the same thing. You got to understand these generational, go back in time, go back in that time machine. Because I didn't even know my father family tree. I was wondering why my daughter stole cars and why my son and them did drugs so bad. It was on both sides of the family, three families. My grandfather's side, he didn't even know his mama. It's so many dysfunctional traits that stuck on us. It's stuck on us. So when we get in these relationships, you can't blame the person. You only can blame yourself, because reason why you were blinded, because you walked out of a blind situation. You suppressed it. So you think nobody will understand. Okay, if I get in this relationship, I'm gonna blame them. But deep down inside, you know who hurt you first. And it wasn't that man. And it wasn't that woman. It was you unhealed going into them relationships. So when you got one man coming in and can talk you out your underwears, you can't blame that man for charming you out your underwear. You got to blame who taught you to let a man charm you. Because like I said, and I say it again, with our toxic mothers, what they tell us a man need. That, get that from him, let him pay the bills, let him cheat. It's okay as long as he's keeping you safe, as long as you getting you. That's not the way you love. That is not love. That's lust all day, hands down, flat down. That's lust. And only thing you're doing is building lust. And lust only happens for a moment, a second. And why I say a second, a person only gonna rock with you for about a month or two, and then they're gonna go and lust after somebody else. Like they say, that man got a lot of women. That's what his flesh want to do. That flesh got to eat. That flesh want much. That flesh is greed. And if you sit there and let that man cheat, 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 or you let that woman cheat, 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 then you got to ask yourself, why? Why am I allowing this? Why am I allowing this person to keep cheating on me? Why I can't break free from this stronghold? Because you came out of a stronghold and you went into the portal that you are familiar with. So you picked that portal. I'm familiar with this type of man. He's charming, he's fine, he's sexy. He got some money, he got a title, he driving a Benz, he got this, he's shining, he's more material, meaning he's a showcase on your hip. You're gonna be a showcase for him. That's not love, that's lust. So we got to stop crying about a man hurting us or a woman hurting us, or if he gets somebody else, you ill. Why are you ill? That was not meant for you. That was meant for who he with. Just like me, I had to go through 3 relationships plus some side ships. And guess what? They weren't meant for me. They were only for me to learn lessons. So now when my ex called, I said, no, it's over for us. I couldn't go back to you. I don't believe in going backwards. I got to go forward. When he had the chance to straighten up, he took it for what it was. But it wasn't meant for him to stay with me. He was a lesson to my life to push me forward. If you a man and you got women and they be blaming you, why you get that girl? You weren't committed to me when I was in a relationship with you. It wasn't meant for you to be committed to that woman. It wasn't meant for that woman to be committed to that man. We have lessons that push us into our destinies. And our lessons is a much suffering. And we have to suffer. And if we fail the test, we're gonna have to take that test again. So if that man come in your life back and forth, you fail in the test. Some people flunk forever. Some don't. Some do wake up. But it's up to you to love yourself. Love you. And once you respect you, once you chase you, once you miss you, once you love you fully, unconditionally, then guess what? That man that's looking outside in and he see that you're a virtuous woman, that he ain't got, and he's healed too. You got to make sure he's healed also. You can't have a man that's unhealed and then you're healed, then you're unequally yoked. Both of y'all, y'all ain't gonna be able to make it. And even if you're a spiritual woman, you say, yeah, I'm rocking with this man. He in the streets. You're not a spiritual woman. You want to be spiritual, but you're a fleshly lady. That's just point blank. But I love you all. I gotta go tonight. But Joseph, thank you, sunshine. And anybody that's watching after this, God bless you. Believe me, go heal. Stop playing victim. Stop saying the other person is the villain. Heal. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're a billionaire. Heal. Because that's where Satan wants you to think you got to shake your body. You got to say stupid stuff to get a man. Them men ain't staying. And you ain't staying either because soon that man don't fulfill your gifts, your pocketbook, sex you right, he's a done deal too. So it works both sides of the spectrum. If you ain't healed, you ain't going to do healed things. But if you're healing, you're going to do healed things. Hurt people hurt others. Heal people heal others. Much okay. Hi, Florida. What part of Florida you from? Oh, I went to Miami. That's when I was toxic. Ooh, I went crazy in Miami. Miami is lit when you toxic. I went to the Heat Stadium and everything. Yes, I love me Miami. Oh my goodness. But love to all of you. And Joseph, thank you. Love, 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 love. And happy Mother's Day to all the mothers that celebrate it. I just don't celebrate Mother's Day because I'm a mother every day. But for the ones that do, happy Mother's Day. Oh no. Yes, we're gonna talk about that city. I had a couple of people I worked with from there. Man, they were lit. Yee! But love to each and every one of you. My heart to everybody. Much love, you all. Have a great night. Get you some sleep. Get you some Z's. Meditate, babies. See you. And if you got children, protect them all costs. Mwah. Love ya.